your week ahead. It is June 30th to July 4th. Let's go. I chopped off my hair. Hey, my name is Sandra. I'm a psychic medium and intuitive tarot reader. If this is the first time you're seeing my face, hi. If it's not, welcome back. What is the underlying theme for the week? What is it that you want to do? What is it that you are pining over or emotionally attaching to that you really want? What are you daydreaming? What are you daydreaming about? It is kind of giving off this vibe of you want it, but you haven't, you want it emotionally, but maybe haven't put in the action yet towards it. Monday's energy, please. Okay, so not feeling worried about it. It's kind of like, it's something that I want, but I'm not going to stress over it. Amethyst is coming through that day. It feels like kind of, instead of being in a place of worry about the future, it feels like more of a staying present and allowing yourself to like naturally just want something without worrying about having it. Does that make sense? It almost feels like it'll happen. Tuesday. July 1st, Tuesday. Yes. Okay, this really feels, this is awesome. This is a transition into a nice peaceful mindset. It feels like, you know what? I'm kind of done worrying about it. It'll happen. Like I'm allowed to feel some peace right now and always, not just right now. But yeah, this is the transition from like a really kind of a hard time into something that is, you know, the smooth waters, the peace, calm waters. And that's just a peaceful mindset. So maybe this week you are shifting your mindset in general. Wednesday's energy. Okay, so this is how this just rolled out. It feels like surrender. You have surrendered, and that is where the peace is coming through this week. Wednesday feels like the full-on surrender, and it feels like you've been tippy-toeing into, you know, what feels like maybe cold water on your toes or something. Like you're like tippy-toeing. You're like, okay, I'll acclimate. You know what? I'm just gonna go. And that's what it feels like with this transition in your mindset. And it feels like Wednesday is just a full surrender to, you fill in the blank. I mean, it's collective, so. Okay, Thursday. Sometimes when we surrender, we might panic. And what do I mean by that? It's like, oh, I gave up control. Something is driving the vehicle now. The universe. You always have control. You always have free will. However, when you allow energy to just kind of be like, you know what? I can't control everything. Sometimes when we surrender to that mindset, it feels panicky. Sorry, about the boobs. It feels panicky because you're like, this feels different. And that worry is comfortable that I was feeling before about controlling everything. And so I know what that feels like. And this not controlling it, that feels really weird and uncomfortable. And I'd rather be like worried because at least I know what that feels like. That's Thursday. Friday. July 4th. If you're in the United States, that's our Independence Day. So Friday is the High Priestess reverse, but I'm sitting here wondering exactly why, because a couple things are coming through. Okay, it feels like a little bit of a carryover into from Thursday into Friday's energy, and really what's coming through right here is they're explaining this to me like a boomerang confirmation, and it feels like this worry and fear that your life is a boomerang. And what do I mean by that? It's like you like surrendered and you like tossed this thing aside, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so worried that it's actually a boomerang and it's going to come right back around and hit me. Maybe either at the same level of uncomfortable or worse. And it feels like you're at the end of this week, you're actually in a transition of learning a lesson that once you surrender it, it doesn't have to come back unless you want it to. With this being crossover, this fell out crossover the Emperor, Wednesday, Thursday time. So it's releasing the boomerang. And I gotta tell you my favorite joke, it's so stupid. What do you call a boomerang that doesn't come back? A stick. So Spirit is so fun because they're letting me use my favorite joke ever for this week and the message, which is really fun. So imagine that you have been holding on to this stick. Imagine the stick, okay? And on that stick is written all the things that you have like attached to. Just could be from birth to now, like the last year, last 2 years, last week, who knows? Your journey. It's all written on there. And you're like, I'm gonna throw this stick into the river and on it goes. Bye. You know. And then all of a sudden, like, it's like that Thursday that, you know, you threw the stick in the river on Wednesday, and then you're like, oh, Thursday's here. That stick was my emotional support stick, and now I'm worried, right? And then Friday, you're like, okay, I'm in the betweensy stage with which I'm really glad that I don't have this stick attached to me anymore and in my hands. However, oh my God, what if that stick is actually a boomerang? What if I just mess this all up for myself? And all of this surrender was just some false hope. So these are the things you're letting go. Okay, this is the theme of the week. You're detaching and you're making room for things that are meant for you emotionally and mentally. Okay, let's get some signs, symbols, and synchronicity. Alignment, sign, symbol, synchronicity for the week is, all right, we have crickets. I'm also hearing, little ivy strands, like any sort of 111 on my clock, any sort of reference to ivy, but crickets, ivy. Now here's the thing. These signs, symbols, and synchronicities are meant to be very scarce. It's not supposed to be something that you have a reference to every single day. They're meant to be something that you don't interact with frequently, so that when it does come into your physical reality in some way, then you're like, you can't unsee it. So ask your spirit team to make it very obvious. And if those two things are something you see very frequently or have reference to very frequently, change it to something that you don't. Let's get the whoopsies. Oh, hold on, reset. You know, like that worry mindset. It's like, okay, hold on, let me reset. Let me go lay on the ground. Let me go touch grass. Let me like guzzle some water. You know, take a cool shower or something like that. What's the whoopsie sign, symbol, synchronicity for the week, please? All right, we have polar bears. Polar bears are going to be your sign, symbol, synchronicity for, hold up. Hey, have a great week. See you.